Hey guys, this is Regina with Inspire, and I want to welcome you to the show today. Today we have an incredible couple with an incredible story. They have a backstory that many of you need to hear that I believe will personally help you get over some things that you can't see or find purpose in. I want to introduce to you Shamal Pete and Ayesha Pete. Welcome to Inspire, guys.
Thank you.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Oh no, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. I've known this couple for a little bit, yeah. It seems like I've known you guys for a lot longer than I have. Absolutely incredible. Probably the kindest people you'll ever want to meet. And so I won't tell you my personal experience about them. I'm going to let them share a little bit about themselves. Now, before you guys start, I'm just going to kind of give you what I know. So you've been married for 7 years, that's correct? Yes. And you have two beautiful daughters. Yes? Yeah. Yes. And a son. Yes. Yes. And so give us just a little bit of background on you guys.
Me, I was born in St. Thomas, Virgin Islands. I came to the States when I was about 5 or 6. I now live in Houston, Texas, well, in Spring, Texas. I graduated from Robert E. Lee High School. Back in 2003, became an ordained minister at the age of 23.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I went from St. Thomas to Jacksonville.
Oh, okay.
Stayed
Okay. Have you gone back?
Oh yeah, I've been back. I mean, not recently, but
Right.
period.
Oh, wow. And so this beautiful bride of yours, how did all of this come about, ma'am?
Oh, that story is really long.
Okay, well, give me a little bit of your backstory then.
Okay. So I am 32. I've lived in Houston all of my life.
Okay.
Houston, Texas. We moved a lot when we were younger, so I've probably stayed just about everywhere except the South Side.
Mhm.
So I graduated in 2006 from Cypress Ridge. That's a long story.
Okay.
I've been a member of First Christian Center since I was probably about 5 or 6. I grew up there, and in 2013 is where I met this.
Strapping young man from the Virgin Islands.
I met him
Wow.
at church, and so I was in a transition of coming from being out of church for a while and just kind of getting back into, yes, Lord, again.
Yeah, right.
So,
Yeah,
yes,
right. Right. Well,
and he wanted to be there, and yeah.
oh, awesome. Awesome. Your story, Shamal, is quite interesting. If you guys don't know, he is not only a minister that he shared just a few minutes ago, but he's an author. And you wrote a book about 2 years ago, is that correct? Or has it been longer? Look at you. You ready? I see you, man. Hey, I see you. And so you wrote, how many years ago was that?
2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago.
A little over 2 years ago. And what's the name of your book?
The name of the book is Whole Again.
Whole Again. Now, the reason I'm bringing up the book is because of the story that we're going to tell a little bit further into the show. It shows your experience with faith and extreme do-overs. There's a part in your book that grabbed me and probably every reader, and it was your moment on the bridge. Would you take a moment and just tell us, how did you end up on this bridge and why you were on the bridge?
That's fine. I got in an argument with the ex of mine. A word triggered me emotionally. And I lived in Baytown, Texas. Well, I lived in LaPorte, Texas at this time. And between Baytown and LaPorte is the Fred Hartman Bridge. And I, in a moment when I was in my mental anguish, I told myself, well, since I'm hurting, I wanted to hurt other people who hurt me, but I want to do it emotionally.
Was it just that moment, or had there been like a series of things, not just in that relationship? And the reason why I'm asking, it's just because sometimes people have these things that are mounting in their lives, and it just takes that one thing to kind of just shoot it all off, and we just say, you know what, forget it.
It was a culmination of what I've experienced from a young boy at that age. So you can imagine I was about 22 at that time. 22 at that time. And I grew up in the islands. And the islands they're very strict. My mother was a single mother. She did the best she could raising a boy to be a man.
Oh yeah, that's a task all by itself, right?
And
Trust
my mother, she did a wonderful job, but unfortunately, she didn't know how to raise a man. And some of her ways of raising me ended up with discipline that was turned into abuse. Also, I was molested when I was a little boy, and just traumas on different levels. And I never got the chance to express how I was feeling. Usually when we hear about young boys, we tell them, don't cry, get over. So you can imagine all those years of not crying, all those years of feeling pain and not being able to release that in the moment when it happened.
So in that moment, when you went through whatever that was that you were going through in that relationship, that was the moment that all of this stuff came to a head. And you decided.
To the bridge.
Wow, it drove you to the bridge.
Drove me to the bridge. It wasn't the argument. It was everything else.
Yeah, it was just kind of like that one more thing inside of the suitcase, and it just blew open. Yeah. Wow. And so you get to the bridge, you're climbing, you're getting ready to jump off the bridge. Really, you've climbed over.
So this time, man, it gets real intense.
Yeah, I'm trying to get there because I was on the plane like going, what? Yeah.
So when I finally got to the bridge, I had an old, it was the 04 Dodge Durango. And I love that truck. But yeah, I love that truck. But what happened was I was on the phone with my ex, and I said, I was talking crazy to her, and I held the phone out the truck so she could hear the wind of the vehicles passing by. Where are you? And I could hear the panic in her voice. And I just threw the phone down, and I ran to the edge where there's on this bridge. There was like a sidewalk and a rail kind of, and I stood up on the top of the rail.
Oh my goodness!
And I was hanging. Well, I leaned on the pole with my standing up on the rail.
Oh my goodness.
The guy drove up and he looked at me and said, "Sir, are you okay? Do you need help?" I didn't say anything. I looked at him like with a look of disgust or any kind of evil look, and he just drove away.
No, wait a minute.
Okay.
You were standing there on the rail.
The top rail, yeah.
On the top rail, like there's no other rails. That's it. You could just fall over.
Right over, yeah.
Now, you were going to fall over into water.
There's water, yes.
Okay, was going to be water? Okay. All right, I totally painted a whole nother picture of that moment. I thought you were going to fall into traffic. But water is not good either if you're going to kill yourself, too.
I think maybe about 500 feet.
500 feet?
Yeah, it's
okay. So this guy sees you. You look at him angry. He's like, okay, brother, just do what you're going to do. I'm going on.
Yeah. So it wasn't even maybe a minute later. I'm hearing sirens and helicopters. I mean, it was like wailing, right? And I can tell. I knew they were coming for me. I knew it. It was came from both directions. I could tell. I could hear it was coming. So it was an undercover detective. He was like an unmarked vehicle. He pulled up and he said, "Hey, are you okay? Let's talk about it. What's going on?" And I said, and then I started saying, "Oh man, everybody say I'm crazy." And so I started just yelling. I was yelling out everything I experienced from a 5-year-old little boy.
Oh my goodness.
What I was telling him was what happened to me when I was the things I couldn't get out for.
It just started coming out then?
Spilling everything. Like, they say I'm crazy. Nobody won't listen to me. I'm hurting. So I was unloading all that on the detective. Of course, he didn't know what was going on.
Right.
But it was, and I didn't know what to do with it. And he kept coming closer. And he said, let's talk. I said, I don't want to talk to you. So what happened, the closer he got, I went over to the other side of the bridge. Now on this side, there's no sidewalk, there's no concrete, there's no driveway, there's nothing but me and air and the water.
No other pole, no nothing.
I'm literally hanging on the railing. I have my hands in the lock, but if I were to open my hands, you know how you lock your hands
like this?
Yeah, on the rail. I was hanging my feet.
So you have stepped over and you're just holding on to the rail and your body's hanging. All you had to do was just open up.
All I had to do.
And you would have dropped. He wasn't able to stop you?
No.
You just moved quickly.
I jumped. It was one smooth motion from when I saw him coming.
And so you jumped.
I jumped over and grabbed it.
And grabbed the rail before you could go down. Okay.
And at this time, I am bawling my eyes out. I was wailing, and I remember I was dangling. Only thing